Hello everyone and welcome to a new video, and in this video I want to look at the Lean Project Canvas, which is a way of doing or putting together a lightweight business proposal and then comparing these business proposals against each other. This way we have a format that's very easy to put your information into. It doesn't take long to create these, and then you have a method of comparing these business proposals against each other. So when going through these business proposals, you see there are a few features that we have on the board. Typically we start with the problem, identifying what the problem is, and then move through to our customer segments and channels, looking at our possible solutions, our readiness to that, and then determining our success metrics. So we don't tend to go from left to right in this. We can come in until we have the problem solved, or we have at least some idea of what the problem is that we want to solve and who we're going to solve that for. Then we'll look at what is it that we want to put forward, look at do we have the pieces in place, and then do we have the appropriate metrics for measuring what our success looks like. From there we can look at the value that this is going to provide to our organization or investors, and then look at the cost needed to deploy this. Then I also like to look at the cost of delay. So if we don't do it now, what is the penalty of waiting? Are we going to have increased risks? Are we going to see prices increase, or perhaps the barriers to entry might go down as new technology comes in and then we're just mimicking something? So things to consider, and we're going to jump right into the first part is the problem. So what is the problem that we want to identify? So in this tool, what we'll do is look at the top 3 problems that we want to solve. So for this one, if we're talking about a co-location kind of facility, or a way for business people to hotel or network together, and they want a place for doing that, so let's look at the problems that we have in this particular sector. So first of all, what we want are business people. They don't want to build an office. They just want to rent an office. They want to meet together. So think of startups or entrepreneurs or people coming together within a city. Maybe they're flying from other cities. They're meeting up, or you're networking after hours and you just need a location in order to do that networking. Or you just need a kind of studio space, so to speak, but more on a business side. So I look at first problem, need, we'll call it on-demand meeting space. And the reason why we need on-demand meeting space for these particular customers is they don't have the money to invest in their own office. So do not perhaps have cash flow. Okay, so first of all, they don't have the cash flow to open the office. The other thing maybe is they want an after-hour solution. So that's, for example, some offices, if we're using an office that is a 9-to-5 office and we got permission to use that office, I want to have an after-hours networking event, that can lead to a lot of problems with making sure that there's people there to staff the facility, cleaning up after the meetup, so on and so forth. So we'll look at it as an after-hours solution. When we get into possible solutions, we can go into details of what that may look like. Let's look at something else. So we're looking at, don't have the cash flow to open their own office, they want an after-hours solution. Another thing that may be a problem is bringing equipment. So the customer segment we're looking at may not have equipment. Since it's not their own facility, it's nice to have the equipment there. So we'll say, so they don't want to bring the equipment, or they can't bring the equipment, they can't purchase the equipment. It's nice to have the equipment there. Perhaps we just give an extra fee on it if they rent that equipment at the facility. Again, that's the solution. So in summary, we're looking at customers that they don't have a lot of cash flow. They can't open their own office space, even because the utilization of the office space doesn't make sense. They may be in the office for, let's say, 5 hours a week to do meetings. Other than that, they can work from home or they're traveling. In this case, they want something after hours. They like to have staff there and equipment ready so they can meet up after hours. Maybe this could be a 24-hour solution. We don't know yet. The other part is they don't have the equipment. They don't want to purchase the equipment and spend the money to do that. It's easier to rent when you're low on cash flow. So now we look at the existing and alternate solutions that we potentially could utilize. There may be conference centers within a hotel. Typically those are for the hotel patrons only. There may be conference centers. However, with conference centers, there's typically a high price, and if you want special catering, you have to use their catering services. That comes at a premium price as well. We could look at going to existing businesses and see if they'll allow us to use their facilities. However, problems with that could be they may not have space, they may not have people available, have no connection with them, so there's no obligation for them to give me the space for my group or my own business for that matter. Or the existing business is already full, they're running their own day-to-day operations, and this is just a distraction. Another possible option is restaurants, where you get together, you have a meal, then you have your business meeting after the meal. Problem with this, restaurants tend to be noisy. There's many distractions going on. It's hard to hear. You may want to do a presentation, but it's too crowded. You can't put together, you can't like set up the laptop on the table. There's just too much going on, too much distraction, and your business partners or the clients who are watching the presentation just can't focus on that presentation.